During 2023, I traveled to a number of master conferences to present a session about best practices for handling of text messages or short message communications in general. If you were there and listened to my presentation, thank you very much. But also, I gave you some bad information. In this video, I want to rectify that. So stay tuned, because this is going to be an interesting video with some additional stuff to my presentation. Okay, wrong information may be a little bit too strong. I would say that I want to share with you some additional information which will make your understanding of the subject more complete. And the reason why I'm sharing it now is because I had a case where something that I haven't seen before surfaced, and I want to share this with you. During the presentation, I covered a number of topics: collections, being organized, normalization, and deduplication. And today I want to talk about deduplication specifically. So what I said in my presentation about deduplication is what fields you can use to remove duplicative text messages from your collection. And the fields I named are sender name, date and time when the message was sent, and message body. That was generally sufficient to identify duplicative messages in your collection. The one additional field I added is number of attachments, or the actual attachment names, because what happens is we can have two export sets and one set has attachments and the other one does not, and we don't want them to deduplicate one against the other. The one thing I specifically mentioned is your date and time format. Your time must have seconds information in it. Sometimes when you export data from eDiscovery software, you only get hours and minutes, but not the seconds, and you could have duplicative messages within specific minute. So it was my understanding that it's impossible to have multiple text messages sent within same second. And I was wrong. The other day I was working with some Slack data, and I did the normal process. I loaded data to message crawler, it ran deduplication, and I was just kind of peeking at the results of deduplication. I was just looking at some of the duplicate messages. And I noticed that there were some messages that were sent within same second, but they were across multiple channels. So that made me think, well, how is that possible? How could such message exist in the same second? And the message I'm talking about is when the user joins a channel, there is a text message generated saying user has joined the channel. So I thought, like, well, that's kind of impossible to generate same message within 1 second. But what I think happened is this user was added to multiple channels by an administrator. So what probably has happened is when users started working in a particular company, they needed to be part of multiple channels. And so an administrator said, okay, we're going to bulk add this user to all these channels. They probably clicked them all and hit add. And then that message user added to the channel was added to all the channels at the same time in the same second. Now, is that message really that important that user join the channel? Actually, I would say no, because once you move on to a next day and day further, you lose the information about who was added and removed. But because we're in eDiscovery, we have to be complete, we have to be 100%, and we have to account for absolutely every single thing. And because of that, we have to add one more field to a list of fields for deduplication. And that would be a channel name. If it's a conversation name, channel name, or something like that, where user is participating and having that conversation. So to recap, what fields should we be using to deduplicate text messages? It would be a sender name, date when the message was sent, including seconds, message body itself, list of attachments, and channel name. And since we found one system-generated message, I guess we can assume there's possibility to have more of those. So that's something I'll be changing as a default in message crawler, which is channel name or conversation name or something like that should be used as part of the deduplication criteria. Well, that's my correction to my presentation from Masters Conference. If you have any comments, or if you found any other fields that you'd like to add for deduplication, please put them on the comment section below. Don't forget to follow on LinkedIn, subscribe on YouTube, and I will see you on the video.